You know that sound. Hello to the Vegan as Fuck podcast. I'm your host, the littlest of veggies, and this is whatever. He's not important.
It's your boy Donnie. We out you.
We out ya. 2021 has begun. We just got off holidays, and that's where we will leave it. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been a pleasure.
That's it. The show's done already.
So 2021, what did you do on the? What did you do for
New
the
Year's
holidays?
Eve?
Yeah,
Holidays or New Year's Eve or both?
both. That's the holidays.
Christmas had a family dinner.
Family dinner.
With my family. Yeah, which we do every year.
That's usually who you do your family dinner with.
That's right. And it was good. We had some delicious vegan food. I'm very lucky and fortunate that my family, they're not fully vegan, probably like 95%, but like they've been vegetarian their whole lives. And then when I went vegan, I was able to get them to cut out like almost every animal product, but like randomly I'll just see this one random thing that has like dairy in it in the house, and trust me, it drives me crazy. But I'm also at the same time just like understanding how fortunate I am compared to so many vegans out there who probably have very non-vegan family members, and people are eating meat and cheese and all kind of
You sick bastard.
yeah, all kind of non-vegan stuff. So
The rest of us are in the we're in the hole. Let me
Yeah.
tell you that. We have a big moral dilemma to deal with all the time when our families want to eat with us. We have to find the easiest way to tell them that we don't want to, which is never an easy way. So it's a big struggle.
you obviously no vegans or vegetarians in your family, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm the sole survivor.
Right.
I'm the lone wolf. Live alone, die alone.
So what's that like? Do you like go there for family dinners? Like for the holidays, for example, did you go there for Christmas? Did you eat with them? What's your
I think
take
the
on that?
best way to tackle this subject is to go back to the beginning.
Beginning of time.
The beginning of time.
Sorry, I'm just opening
Back
up
when
this
the world was new.
Rise Kombucha. Oh, by the way, shout out to our amazing sponsor, Rise, for sponsoring all these amazing episodes. Delicious kombucha. I'm drinking the fresh ginger to start
I didn't
today.
say that this video was sponsored by Rise.
Totally
This
failed me.
podcast is brought to you in part by Rise Kombucha, the kombucha-ist of all kombuchas. Lemongrass citronelle. What do you have?
I got the fresh ginger. The gingembre.
Fresh gingembre. Consigne, Quebec. 5-cent refund. Guys, get your kombuchas. They'll give you 5 cents as a refund.
That's right. And Rise is actually sold Canada-wide. So it's a delicious kombucha that's been around for many, many years. I think they were one of the first
Since the
kombucha
beginning of
companies
time.
Since the beginning of time.
And that's where our story starts. The Big Bang.
So anyways, you were saying, so I'd asked you about the holidays.
So back at the beginning of time. That's what.
Okay.
You just ruined my segue. Thanks a lot. Back at the beginning of time. The Big Bang. And then I was born. Wait, what? Okay, so.
Yeah.
Whoa. Basically what happened? So when I went vegan, and then when people first go vegan, and then you have to deal with, all your friends like ostrich-sizing you.
Friends, family.
Your friends, your family.
Sometimes
They're all
your
like
girlfriends or boyfriends,
yeah,
significant
whatever.
others,
Yeah,
anybody.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're all telling you like, no, but your body.
I don't think we should be singing any R. Kelly. So.
Anyways,
Yeah.
we're off.
Moving along.
It's hard for me to think today. So when you first go vegan, you're faced with all these things. Like now, at the beginning of my personally, how it went for me was, I became vegan. People were eating all around me, and not that I didn't care, but like I ate with them. I didn't think about it. It's like, that's your food. This is my food. As long as your food is not touching my food, we're good.
Yeah, you were like just focusing on your journey in the beginning. It was just
on
about
me,
you.
and it
in
wasn't
the
about
beginning,
like other people. Like, because everyone else was against me. So it was like, look, in order to survive, I have to like not
Just
distance
blended.
myself, and I have to like, okay, look, and then even at times, like I know some people, it wasn't the case for me. It was never the case for me to like I wouldn't cook meat or anything like that anymore. But I know some people that they're vegan, but their family's not, and they still would cook like chicken and all crap.
Right.
Like they would still cook stuff like that
Yeah.
for their family. For me, it was like, no, I don't want to look at it. Like, not sorry, I don't want to. I just don't want to touch it. I don't want to be a part of it. But if you're cooking it and you're eating it and you're
didn't
whatever,
bother you.
that's your business. If it was sitting on the table with us, it didn't bother me because like last month I was eating it. I was putting it in.
This
my
isn't the
mind.
beginning. This is
Yeah,
right
I'm talking
away.
about at the beginning.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm talking about at the beginning. So last month, right? Pretend I just went vegan this month. Last month I was eating it, so it didn't bother me as much.
And just for the viewers, so this is about 5 years ago, right?
Yeah,
Just so I
exactly.
get some context. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it started. And then with my friends, it would still be like we go eat and we're going to this like, I don't know, like a Korean barbecue, and they're all eating meat in front of me, and then I just got some Brussels sprouts and just eating my Brussels sprouts in the corner.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You know, and so that's how it started. But the more I progressed on my vegan hood journey,
Veganhood, yeah.
then like you start realizing more things, and then it's just like then you start meeting more vegan people, and then you feel less alone.
Yes.
So it stopped becoming like there was like a while after where I'm just only with vegan people, that now when I see it, it's like, whoa, it's weird to see it because I'm used to not seeing it anymore.
yeah.
So now I'm like, it like now it got to the point where it's like even being around it, just seeing it, it's like it's disgusting. I'm like seeing a dead body. So that's it's literally what it's like to me. Like I walked in and I literally see someone cooking a human foot. It's the same feeling, you know.
Same
Like,
feeling.
whoa,
Yeah,
what the hell's happening
it's
here,
dead
you know?
bodies, 100%.
But it wasn't like that at the beginning.
It wasn't.
It
If
was-
we're being 100% honest, and I say the exact same thing for
Yeah.
me as well. In the first 6 months or so, it didn't deeply affect me to the point where I couldn't be around it. I was just like, not for me. Like, oh, you guys are sick. But it wasn't like I wasn't terribly offended by it yet.
Yeah,
Because I
exactly.
think at that point, like for me personally, it was more about health at that point than it was about the animals, because it started off as a health journey for me. But sorry to interrupt you. I'll let you continue with your story. Yeah.
For me, it started off for the animals, but it's still
Okay,
like
so yeah.
I think it's just like not being like not wanting to be like cast out from everyone because everyone around you still eats it, and so like family members and especially family members, family dinner at the table, they're all eating it. And at the time, I was living at my parents' house, so it was like I couldn't escape it. Then I moved out, and then now at my place it was only vegan food because I was living on my own now. So but I still worked in a grocery store, and I was seeing in the meat section, I had to pass by there to go to
The worst, by the way.
I have to pass by the meat section to go like to the back store, and I would see it every day. And I actually had this is a fun little fact. I had a technique when I was working, because I always had to pass the meat section to go to the back to get like boxes of fruits. I was working in the fruit department, so I would go grab the fruits, go restock them. And every time I needed to fart, I would hold it in and wait till I passed the meat section.
You'd let it go?
I would let it go always as
Oh
I
my
walk.
God.
It was like a drive-by, hashtag drive-by. So I would always wait until like I'm like, oh, I really need to fart. Hold it. I pass by the meat section. I let it go so that the clients shopping there would be like,
Smells like shit.
this food, it smells like shit. Let's get out of here.
That's
was
amazing. Great
that was-
activism,
that was my
guys. We're
strategy.
giving good ideas, good gems. When you're at the grocery store as a vegan,
you have to
go
fart.
by the meat, dairy, egg section,
Just
fish
let
section,
them
and
loose.
and just let them loose. Let it rip, guys. Just fart away and let people know, because that's unfortunately a lot of these animals. They're living in their own excrements, in their own piss and shit and vomit and disease.
It ends up
and-
being like literally like
That's what it is, though.
Before
That's
they
the truth.
they spray it with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they
that's
spray
what
it up and
smells
clean
like,
it up. Yeah.
So there you go. That's the pro tip when you're at the grocery store. But so I used to see it all the time. Like I hated it. You know, I hated passing through there.
Yeah.
But my friends, like, then along the line, it became like, no, I won't. Like I won't be a part of it like at all. But I remember there was a homeless person asking me, they were hungry, and I was like, okay, I'll buy you something. What do you want? And then they're like, just give me the General Tao chicken. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I came out with like a
Tofu?
yeah, I came out with tofu and like just just a vegan dish, and I'm like, here you go. He's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, they didn't want it. It'd be
I'm
like
like,
that
look,
sometimes.
man, I'm not buying you. I'm
Yeah,
not.
no, 100%. Yeah.
But as far as
Funny enough, you just kind of triggered an old moment for me. So when I first went vegan, my girlfriend at the time was not vegan, and she was not conforming. She was not interested in it. She
hey,
told
you
me
don't see her coming around these parts anymore,
yeah,
do you?
she's gone. Sorry. Anyways, yeah. So she's a great person, by the way, and she was an amazing person and still is. But unfortunately, when I went vegan, when I first went plant-based, started my journey, we were dating at the time, and she just wasn't making the connection for whatever reason, whether it come to compassionate side or health side. She wasn't seeing what I was seeing, and the information that I was telling her, it wasn't resonating, or it wasn't enough to make her want to change, because, and it's like that. That's what 95% of the problem is here, is that non-vegans, they know that, yeah, it's bad to kill animals, it's probably unhealthy for you, but they just don't care.
Yeah.
They just don't care. We're here trying to help them care, help them make the connection to the animals, to their health, to the planet, sustainability, etc. But the harsh reality is a lot of them don't care. And I guess she was not resonating with all the things that I was saying. So long story short, I would, be spending time with her, and she'd be at work. And this is, again, early in my vegan career, like vegan journey, like maybe 3 months in or whatever. And she's like, I'm like, hey, do you want to like eat something after work? She's like, yeah, can you go pick me up a burger? I'd be like, ooh, like, whoa, So, but again, I was like in love, and I didn't want to let my new plant-based journey, because I wasn't fully vegan yet. I hadn't dove in deep. I just knew that for myself, I didn't want to eat any animal products anymore. So I remember, though, the first time that I did go and I ordered, like a burger for her. And when the cashier put it in my hand, it was through a drive-through. I know. And it's important that we explain this for hopefully for the non-vegans to understand what it was like to just hold something that was pretty much a dead body in between two pieces of bread. And that's when it kind of hit me like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't purchase it. I don't want to touch it. Yeah. Like, okay, if you want to eat it, you eat it. I will have nothing to do with paying for it or touching it or grabbing it, because I knew it was just, it made me make that connection that like, can't do it. It's a dead animal, so.
Yeah, I had that early on, like near the beginning, like I couldn't, I probably like, I can't remember now, it's been a long time, but I probably like did something similar where it's like we're in the drive-through and everyone's ordering their stuff, right? And we just get it all together, and then, oh, this is the vegan one for you, and it's like all in the same bag and stuff. At the beginning, that didn't bother me as much. And then as you go, like stuff like it being on the same grill and all that stuff.
Yeah, cross-contamination. Yeah.
Then the more you dive into veganhood, the more it starts really bothering you, because you start learning more stuff and you start thinking about it way too much, and then you start like, oh, the more you realize what's going on, 100%. You're like, yo, don't I don't even want to know that stuff exists, like,
because I think there's two levels to it. There's, first of all, like, if you're having a realization from a health standpoint, and you're looking at these factory farms, you're looking at the conditions that animals are kept in, and you're looking at the disease, the infectious disease, the dirty, disgusting thing. You're like, whoa, that's actually disgusting. That's so bad for me. That's so sick. That's so infected. I don't want to put that into my body. And then the second part is the cruelty to it. Yeah. And then it's like, whoa, that's so heartless. That's so cruel. That's so mean. How could we do that to innocent, defenseless beings? So I think both of those play like a major part into why you would never want any animal products touching your vegan food. Because
just the bottom line is that it's a dead body, and I don't want it touching my food. It's weird,
It's just, again, but it's the nastiness, it's the suffering, it's like so many things.
Yeah, it's all of it combined, but like the bottom line is that it's something that's dead.
Yes.
And it's touching your stuff, So it's like,
and when we say this was a being.
It
as the dead, it's now a corpse.
Yeah, now it's like
it's a corpse, exactly. But the animal is never it. It's always a living.
A
living being.
But and then there's so. Besides your friends, and like, well, we're not done with friends and family, but I just realized something. Of another thing is at work. Yeah. When, okay, So there's a lot of people that they decide to not sit with other people that are eating.
Yeah, there's a pledge actually.
Yeah,
There's an
there's a
actual
pledge,
pledge
exactly.
that you never sit. Let's just explain the pledge so people
Yeah.
know probably. So it's that you would never sit down at any table or with family or with friends while they are eating,
Dead
the body of a dead animal, or sometimes even their secretions.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
or any
eggs or cheese or
anything related to an animal.
anything related to animal exploitation, abuse, and
Exactly, yeah.
suffering.
You don't sit at
There's
the
a
table.
pledge that a lot of vegans, and more so it's activists, I think, who make this pledge for the most part. Like people
Yeah,
who are,
exactly.
because there's a lot of vegans who are actually just, I'm
And
vegan
actually-
for myself and I'm accepting of everyone else's what they call
Yeah.
choices, which they're not choices. Yeah.
But so this pledge, for example, like what are the let's like quickly the pros and cons of how this pledge could be a good thing, but how it can also backfire on you.
So let's look at situations when it will come into play. So realistic situations. So family dinners, obviously.
Family dinners at work when
at
you're like
work.
at school in the cafeteria.
At school, yeah, 100%. So most social gathering settings,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
barbecue, the party, the house party, the get together. It's almost like
So
anything that you do with other people, you're going to be in this situation.
and then you
if it's
go
non-vegan.
sit somewhere else. So the first thing is it's showing the other people that you don't want to be a part of what they're doing, and it makes them realize that what they're doing is wrong.
That you
'Cause
care,
they're like,
that you care so much
yeah,
about what
they're
you're
like,
fighting
He
for.
doesn't even want to sit with his own mother.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
because of what his mother is doing.
That's 100%.
It makes them reflect. Hopefully, that's the goal, to make them reflect, right? That's the goal.
It's a good pro.
To make them reflect and to make them realize that, like, look, I don't want to be a part. I want no part of that shit, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it could also, a lot of people think that it would, it's not the best idea for, like, it could backfire. Like, you're just alienating yourself further.
I would say that's a big con, is to alienate yourself, and even like a direct example of that would be if you don't go out and sit down with your 4 friends who are eating animal products, then you can't then speak up for them.
Yeah,
so
you
you're
can't
almost
speak up,
saying,
and then but by going and sitting somewhere else, you are speaking up. But it just makes them feel like, oh, what an asshole! He's going over there, doesn't even want to sit with us.
yeah. Well, no one's going to invite you anymore. Like,
yeah,
oh,
and then-
we're going to
exactly.
a dinner at this restaurant, and there's let's say
You're
a table
never
of 4.
getting called back
It's a
again,
table of
yeah.
4, and you're 4 people, and you're like, yeah, well, you 3 sit there, and I'm going to sit at the next table across. We'll still talk, but like I won't be there. So
Nah, they won't talk either. It's like
exactly, they're
It's
basically
like-
not going to invite you anymore.
yeah, it's like, look, if you knew we were coming to this
and not-
steakhouse, why did you come?
Exactly. And not to say that you want to be there as a vegan at a non-vegan restaurant, you probably don't. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you're now losing that opportunity to speak up for those animals that are on the plates. And,
Yeah.
and while your friends are eating those animals that were exploited, abused, and killed, you now cannot speak up for them. So you're almost saying that you don't want to be around it. It's so bad for what you're feeling, and you don't want to support it, that you're not going to be there. But then it's like you're making it about you. Whereas if you do go and you do raise some awareness and you do make people think twice about it, you're doing activism. So it's like such a hard thing
it's
to
a
really
thing. It's not
yeah.
that we're not saying that like I hate sitting with people that are like, I don't want to. I always like I do leave. And
yeah.
I don't sit with them, but
Yeah.
I make sure to like explain it to them before and
Why?
after.
Yes,
you know?
that's very good. Yeah, 100%.
Because for me personally, it just like freaks me out and I get sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
I don't feel like eating after.
100%.
I feel like I don't want to.
I'll say this, that I have not taken the pledge officially, but I can count on one hand the amount of times that I've had to sit in near proximity or at the same table with someone who's eating animal products, and it's probably less than 5 times in these last 3 years, because I refuse to do it.
Yeah.
I refuse. Just so our viewers can hear, our listeners can hear. That's my personal. I don't know about you, how many situations you've been in.
Well, look. So
Yeah.
that's the thing I was gonna say about work. Okay, I used to. So after I stopped working at the grocery store and all
Yeah.
that stuff, I started doing events. This is what I was doing before the pandemic struck. I was
Yeah.
doing events, like setting up for weddings and like setting up like the speakers, the microphones, the cameras, all that stuff. That's what I was doing before.
Yeah.
And the company I was working for, obviously none of them were vegan.
Yeah.
And so now it's like I'm working with these guys. We're always together, me and these 3 other guys.
Okay.
And the boss is buying us food.
Yeah.
All right. So he's paying for my food
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
And obviously he's buying himself all kinds of meat and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And for me, he's buying me the vegan options
Okay,
of
yes.
whatever,
Yeah.
obviously, because I tell him, he knows that I'm vegan, so he respects that, and he buys
Buys
me.
it for you, yeah.
So I always have vegan food to eat,
Yeah.
but now this guy's buying me food.
Yeah.
What am I going to tell him? Like, I'm going to sit over there. It's like, it gets
He accommodates you, and then
he
you're like, all right,
accommodates me.
guys, like, peace out. I'm not going to sit with you guys
I'm
because you're
gonna go
animal abusers,
Yeah,
you know?
like, so it's like,
Yeah.
it gets to a thing like, what do you do now?
Yeah.
Do I just buy my own food? Don't accept his blood money?
Yeah,
But the
right,
thing is
yeah.
that the restaurants that we're going to, they're fucking expensive, man. Like
Yeah.
he was like, in his mind, he was taking care of us, you know,
Yeah.
get this nice food for them, big meals, this and
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I can't afford to eat every single day
Out.
especially when I was working. Like, I just can't. I can't afford to spend like $30 a meal every time we're going somewhere
Yeah.
because I don't want this guy. You know, so there's
not only
there's
that,
these
though,
there's
yeah.
these tricky situations. And then plus, I work with these guys.
I was
and-
going to say that part.
and
yeah.
it's not like
It would be like a disrespect to their face that, like, I'm never eating with you guys, even though we work together every day. Yeah.
It's also, it's like, it's not a job where it's like you're hired and then you're unionized and you can't get fired. This job was a on-call
Contract basis.
basis. So it's like the boss of the company has like so many people he can call
Yeah.
to come do the job. Like there's
Yeah.
people that want to come, and I would work like once or twice a week, you know, but it would be like 12-hour, 24-hour shifts sometime, like a long stretch twice a week. And so I had enough money to survive after, but like I was always worried about not being called back because
Yeah, 100%.
it's like, oh, I need more work, you know? So now it's like all these things come into play, and this was right before the pandemic. So it was not that long ago, it was a year ago.
Yeah.
So I was like not eating with my friends and stuff like that. But when it came
To work,
I had no
that makes
choice.
more
I was like,
sense.
my hands were tied, you know? I was
So
like,
tell us about those experiences. Like, what was it like? Like, did you just... Because me, the one time that I had to do was about a year and a half ago that I was like kind of forced into it. It was like a business meeting, and they were told you have to be there. If not, you're not part of this deal. And I was like, damn, I need some money.
Yeah, exactly.
And I work with these guys, doing whatever. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll come. I'm very uncomfortable about it, guys. But you guys are very adamant that I come. I came, and let me tell you that I stared at my plate. I stared down at my plate for 2 hours. I never looked up at them for an hour and a half while food was being served. I never looked up at them, and they knew I couldn't look in their direction. They were saying like, poor guy, he's so uncomfortable, you know? But I just had to, I couldn't look in their direction.
Honestly, I think
when there
that's
was
a
an
good thing,
animal
like-
on the plate. I couldn't, you know, as activists too, like we stand outside of slaughterhouses. We're not just regular vegans who are, you know, vegan for the animals or for their health or for the planet or for all reasons. But as activists, having stood outside of slaughterhouses and watching hundreds of trucks come in carrying pigs or cows or chickens and seeing these animals in their last moments before they are brutally slaughtered, it is now impossible to sit next to someone who's who's eating the body of a dead animal. For me, it's impossible.
For me, during those experiences, it was like we were always eating stuff that were like my food kind of looked the same as their food, because let's say it was a burger and I had a veggie burger and they had other burgers, but they still looked the same.
Yeah.
So like in my brain, I could kind of like
Pretend
trick myself. Yeah.
Pretend that they're eating vegetables. Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm eating veggie burgers. It's a good world.
Yeah,
You know, eating but then there would be some times where it's like we'd go to like some place and they have like steak and ribs, and
Steak
I'm
is the
like,
word. Yeah, that is really
like-
hard for us to see.
sometimes it was
Disgusting.
you know, and I had to push through it, but it's where I am now. It's like it's really uncomfortable. Like it's not uncomfortable. Like I'm sick. I'm like,
we won't do it. I refuse.
you know,
I refuse now. I'll never do it.
And
again.
now I don't work with them anymore, and I've been working with you, and then everything that we do involves vegan food, and there's always vegan food everywhere. So now I'm so like
used to it now.
Now it's like literally there's never meat in my presence unless I go visit family. Because
Exactly.
even with my friends, when I go nowadays when I go out with my friends, it's always it's like
they accommodate you.
Exactly.
They're like, let's go eat vegan food because.
But most of my friends are
same.
vegan now. So
Yeah, they are. But
so
for the
it's-
non-vegan friends, they will accommodate you.
Exactly. For the non-vegan friends, it's because we're all vegan, and then there's this one non-vegan guy with us, and
Yeah.
obviously he's gonna eat what we're eating,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
now it's the reverse. It's before it was like, oh, I'm gonna like still eat with these people that are eating meat because I don't want to feel like alienated and alone.
Yeah.
But now there's more
More
more of
vegans,
us,
and there's the non-vegan that's saying,
in
yeah,
like our
I'll-
circle or whatever.
yeah.
So now it's the one non-vegan
Yeah.
guy that it's like the reverse effect.
Yeah.
Now he's like, oh, I need to eat vegan or else they'll
Yeah.
alienate me.
Well, on the topic of that, I think it's really cool that I do know this for sure, because I talk to a lot of vegans online and they share their experiences with me. And I'd say like most vegans always have a couple of really close friends that if they're not vegan themselves, they will always eat vegan food with their vegan friend.
Yeah.
Like that's like a thing. Like if you got a really close friend who's vegan and you're not vegan, usually these people, from what I'm understanding these days, are very accommodating. Like, oh, let's go to a vegan restaurant for you so that you're happy. Because they know we're already subjected to so much struggles and and never being able to like fit in and stuff, So I would say that's a good thing that people are supportive, but we don't want those people to be supportive of us. We want those people to go vegan. We want our best friends to go vegan. And that's one thing I've struggled with, is that people will tell me online, like, oh, I went vegan because of you. Oh, you keep changing so many people, this person, whatever. So I know that I have an amazing influence on like strangers that have never met me before. But for some reason, everyone that I've known all my life, like my closest friends for the last 15 years or whatever it is, none of those people have budged. And I think it's one of the most frustrating things, that it's like, you'd think the people closest to you would be the ones that would resonate with your message or your lifestyle or your mindset. And those people are like, it's just Donnie. He's an idiot. Like, who cares what Donnie's doing? Type of thing.
You know the
like,
person, it's like,
when they know you, they've already like have this
like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
exactly.
And
It's
honestly,
weird. It's so weird,
especially like that. Like, it's especially like that when it's your family, especially like family
close
members
friends,
that are older than you, obviously, because they're like, I saw you when you were a little bit. What do you know that I don't know? Like, that's like the mentality they have.
The age
automatically,
hierarchy, experience
exactly.
hierarchy.
So that's the hardest thing with friends. It is easier to like. It's easier, first of all, to just talk to your friends and be like, what the fuck? What are you doing, man? What are you like? Why? And they're just telling them like, come on. And it's easy for me. It's way easier to talk to my friends about it and be like, yo, man, like, I don't want no dead bodies around me. I'm telling you that right now. So if we're going here, you're not.
They'll agree to that.
I'll tell them, and then they're my friend, and we have fun all the time together. And so I tell them usually before we go to a restaurant, I'm like, look, you want to get something to eat? We're going here. I'm not going to your place because
exactly.
I tell them, and then they're like, "Oh, no problem, man." Like,
they're accommodating.
Like, at first, they're like, "Whoa, all right, man, no problem."
Accommodating.
I didn't know that you felt so hard about it. I'm like, "Yeah, I feel strongly about it, so we're not going, please." And I'm not like an asshole about it. I tell them, but
100%.
And then we go. But then the harder thing is with family, because it's hard. First of all, it's hard sometimes to talk to your family.
Yeah.
Especially when, because now emotions get involved. Because you're like, you're like, you're my family. Come on, you're supposed to like support. And, and then they're like, fuck that shit. I'm not eating your shit food. And you're like, you never even fucking tried it.
Your rabbit food, your salads.
Yeah, it's like.
But let me ask you something. What is it that people are so defensive about? Why are people like so emotional about the choices that they have when it comes to what they eat? Because I don't like to call it food. To me, if it's vegan, then it's food. If it's not vegan,
obviously.
So when I'm speaking, I'm always going to be like, I don't get it. Like, why are people so defensive about their eating habits that when you bring up all the suffering and all the abuse that these animals go through, or you talk about the impacts on the planet, or you talk about how bad it can be for their health, they're like, no, chicken wings. I live for chicken wings. Like, I need my chicken wings. There's no way you're going to take that away from me. Like, what is it that people are so, I don't know, committed to their like habits?
Now we can take that audio file of what you just said about chicken wings. We can use it to frame you. If we just take it out of context, chicken wings, this, I love it.
Right? Well, that's why I use the non-Donnie voice. It was kind of like the troll voice.
We can blackmail Donnie.
Well, you guys all know where my heart's at.
So yeah, what was your question?
I was just saying, like, what is it that why you're like when you
why
when
are
you
they
talk
so,
to people and like people
Honestly,
are so defensive and so committed emotionally to what they eat that they can't have empathy for the victims, that they won't consider changing their lives, or at least, hey, you know what? All right, I'll try going vegan for 30 days. I want to see. Like, people aren't even willing to try to stop eating animal products for a day. Like, why is that? We have to figure this out.
I think that's like the
The
real
number one.
the question. It's like,
Yeah.
why are people so like offended, man? It's like
So offended, so defensive,
they think
so
that we're
stuck in
they
their
think
ways.
that as vegans we're just here to ruin their lives and like take away their lunch. It's
Yeah,
like, no,
exactly. No, we want to just tell you that you can
I'm not
eat
telling
this
you
instead
not
of
to
that.
eat lunch, man.
Yeah.
Wow,
Still
just
gonna
like-
taste as good. There's no animal cruelty. You season all of your food
yeah,
with
it's true. It's
plants
like,
and
how,
spices.
why is it so hard? Like,
so hard? Yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah, and I
It's
always-
not rocket surgery.
I always say the example of like, let's say a vegan burger and a regular burger, right? So most of the times your bread and buns are vegan. All of your condiments, your ketchup, your mustard, your relish, whatever sauces can be vegan. You know, the vegetables that you put in, all your crunchy vegetables or your grilled vegetables you throw in your burger are all vegan. So the only thing that's not vegan is the meat patty. All you gotta do is substitute that one meat patty out of like 15 things in that burger and put the veggie patty, and you're still gonna have a delicious burger.
Yeah, and for all being honest,
yeah.
you can't taste the fucking difference, man. Like,
You can't, exactly.
It's like
Yeah.
because maybe if you were just eating the straight up patties, just the patties, obviously you'll taste the difference because it's different things.
Yeah.
But when it's combined with
all that
15 other
stuff,
things, it's like you don't taste.
You just season it well. I mean, listen. Okay, I'll say this: it's totally different experiences. Textures are different. The flavors, the breakdown of the patties are different. Fine, no problem. But what I'm saying is, it's still so similar. You're still gonna
but
have
it's
a great
buried-
experience.
It's buried in all kinds of other
Exactly.
things that are already vegan.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
come on.
It's not like the patty ruined the whole burger. This
Yeah,
is
when I'm eating a
disgusting
burger,
now.
honestly,
No,
when I'm
come
eating a
on.
burger, what I taste is ketchup and mustard. That's what I'm
Yeah,
tasting.
the bread, the veggies, the
Well, but that's
onions,
the
the tomatoes,
main
the
thing that I
pickles.
taste in my mouth is ketchup
Sure,
and mustard
it's
because those things are
overpowering.
strong.
Yeah, 100%.
And onions.
Yeah.
You know, it's like boom, that's all I'm tasting.
Yeah.
And then the tomatoes are like making my mouth all wet, and I'm like,
Yeah.
nice. There's some liquidy stuff. And then you have the buns are just there to satisfy you.
It's just it's a combination, you know.
Then
It's a small substitution
the
that you
patty
have
is
to
just a
make.
squishy thing in the middle,
Exactly.
just to make you more full.
Yeah, but try
You know?
telling someone that they should replace the dead animal with the veggie patty, and all
lose
hell
their shit,
breaks
man.
loose. It's chaos. They're telling us they're going to eat 10
Yeah.
more burgers just because we said it. You know, if we're feeding pigs or giving them water or
And then they're
doing
like,
activism, they hate us even more. It's like, guys, we're
and then like,
just...
what if you were in the forest, trapped, and there was a deer right in front of you? Like, what the fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
we're not trapped in the forest.
We're
We're
not trapped in
at the
forest.
grocery store.
It's never gonna happen
Yeah.
to me. There's no forests left. It's like shut up. You know, it's not
Exactly.
gonna happen to me.
People, it's so funny
What?
that...
We're gonna be trapped in the one forest in Montreal that's like 10 square feet. Come
It's
on.
just funny that non-vegans will go out of their way to
invent
come
these
up with
crazy
so many
scenarios,
crazy
dude.
scenarios, theories. They've done all this research. They've done research about everything possible to come up with all their counter arguments as to why veganism isn't the right way to go. They'll tell you all these things, but all they really need to
Just
do
so they can continue like
just watch some footage of a slaughterhouse and watch an animal, unfortunately,
yeah,
have
then
their
they make
throat
up stuff
slit
like
and blood.
and then they make up stuff like, oh, that's only in Africa, that's only in South this, and that's only over there, and
In
it's just
Asia
like,
and all these
that's
different countries,
that's in every country except for our country because our country is the greatest country on earth. And
Yeah.
then you go to another country, and then they're like, yeah, that's probably in like Canada or something.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like-
People think that, in Canada and America, that these animals, they have
Animals
this
are treated
amazing
good here.
life,
Yeah,
and they
it's not.
go
It's
into the
not.
slaughterhouse with flowers and nice music, and then they press a button and the animal dies. No, these animals are being electrocuted. They're being gas chambered.
They're like, they're happy.
They're having their throats
They're
slit.
living a happy life. They're
Yeah, there's
they're
no
frolicking.
thing.
It's like
There's no such thing as humane slaughter. There's no such way to ethically kill any animals, kill any beings that wanted to live, And that's why we want people to make the connection that you can live a lifestyle where no animals have to die or be exploited directly because of your choices.
And it's easy. It's not like when Donny was a young lad 1,500 years ago. Now it's like
It's so easy.
it's so easy. Like
What was it like 5 years ago for you, though? That's what I
Yeah.
want to know.
So 5 years ago, so when I first went vegan, I lost like 60 pounds.
yeah, there's nothing to
In
eat.
2 months, I lost 60 pounds because all I was eating was bell peppers and baby carrots in hummus. That was my shit. Like
There was
bell
no Beyond
peppers,
Meat.
hummus.
Yeah.
There was not like there
No
was
Beyond
literally
Meat,
the
no
only
Impossible Burgers,
the
no
only,
Gardein yet. Was Gardein around 5 years ago?
no. The only things honestly that we had back then was Eve's and Daya. It was the
Eves
only
and
thing.
diet, yeah.
That was like if you wanted meat or cheese substitutes.
Yeah.
Meat, Eve's and Daya.
Yeah.
And not the best.
They were the best
things,
tasting. So now when you go to the grocery store,
no, it's like insane.
15 different variations of vegan cheese, 15 variations of vegan milk, 15 variations of vegan ice cream. You have all your meat substitutes. You have your seafood substitutes. There's literally everything is there for you that you want to buy that's boxed or packaged. They have all of that easily laid out for you.
It's gotten to the point where like now I'm even confused when I'm eating vegan food because I'm like, someone gives me a burger and it's so realistic that I'm like disgusted by it.
yeah, sometimes we're like, well, this is too much. Like
I'm like, whoa, you've gone too far now. You know, like, come on.
Yeah.
So it's gone to the point where it's like so realistic, that it's like, what are you complaining about?
Exactly.
It blows our minds.
It's crazy. But the brainwashing is so deep because what you see is everywhere you go, you see advertisements, you see billboards, you see online ads. It's like, oh, this burger or this bacon or this wings or this seafood. And it's just so conditioned that it's so normal for these animals to be killed for people to eat them. It's just so normal. It's the thing to do. There's nothing wrong with it. But how come yet no one wants to watch the footage of these animals in these slaughterhouses? They just don't want to because the connection is going to make them feel bad about their choices, so they'd rather turn a blind eye. But we're here to hopefully convince people to open their eyes, open their hearts, and open their minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting with the people furthest from you, because the people closest to you will never listen.
Crazy. I tell you,
So
I've turned so many strangers vegan, but none of my closest friends I don't think have gone vegan, which is crazy. And I have a lot of friends. I'm well known, and
I have some friends that have gone vegan like after I've gone vegan, and then they talk to me about it.
Yeah.
And it's good.
I have friends too, yeah.
Yeah, there's obviously some
But
friends.
never the closest friends.
Well, no, for me...
I look at my 10 closest friends, none of them have gone vegan. Why?
For me, it is some of my closer friends. But that's why I'm saying for me, like my friends my whole life, my friends have been always the people that are like easiest to talk to and like the most reasonable people.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to family again, it's the
you.
hardest, man. It's like, whoa, why are you so like hard-headed, man? I'm just like, just try it. Then they invent all these things and it's like, what are you talking about? And then now like from the holidays, right? So now like that leads us to like the last level of like, okay, your family. For me, family is the hardest to deal with this situation of like eating with your family.
Yes.
How do you avoid it? So I have a technique that I've been doing. I always have my techniques, but like what I've been doing lately is just always showing up late. Like they're like, we have a family dinner. I show like at 6:00. I show up at like 8:00.
Yeah, to make sure.
I'm like, oh, I missed the dinner. And if my family's watching this, now you know the truth.
Minimum 2 hours late to all family gatherings.
Yeah,
Guys,
just like
take notes.
You
take
show
notes.
up, or you have a man inside. Like for me, my brothers, it's easier to talk to my brothers. Like obviously they're around my age, and they're just like we grew up together. My brothers, so it's easier to talk to them. So I would just text one of my brothers like, "Is the food
off the table
have
now?
people stopped eating?"
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, "Yeah, it's all gone." I'm like, "All right, I'm coming."
Yeah, exactly.
I'll text them. So it's like you have a man on the inside.
Yeah.
That's how you can avoid it. But again, avoiding it is not the answer, because now my family, besides my brothers, my family, they don't know that it makes me uncomfortable, or they don't know, or they like they don't know how much it makes. They know obviously it makes me uncomfortable, but they don't know how much, because I never tell them, because if I'm gonna tell them, then they're gonna start arguing with me, and it's gonna be this whole thing. So that's back to the con of the like eating at the separate table thing, where it's like you don't speak up about it.
You don't speak up, yeah.
So I have told them though, like I've told them like when I'm there, because sometimes they're like, sometimes I go 2 hours late, and then they're like, all right, everyone, he's here. Let's sit down and eat. And I'm like,
no, it backfired.
Shit, they waited for me.
Yeah, no.
And it's like they waited for me, So it's like, again, now like the respect and stuff like that. They waited like 2 hours for me. I came late on purpose, so I was being disrespectful, whatever.
Yeah.
And they waited for me, and now it's like, oh, I'm gonna go sit over there. But it's like I don't want to sit there, so it's like they're eating in the kitchen. I take my plate. I go to the dining room. I'm like eating. It shows them that I'm uncomfortable. I think I did like it was my mom's birthday. I was protesting at my mom's birthday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you told me about that. Yeah.
We're at a restaurant that like didn't have one vegan option.
Jeez.
And I was like, holy crap, man. It's like it's the first time in like 3 years, because I've been vegan for 5 years, but it was the first time in 3 years that I was at a restaurant with no vegan option. I was
Nothing.
like, are you crazy?
It was just fries. Fries was your only option.
No, like literally, yeah, I think it was just fries, but literally I was like, I had to like talk to the chef, and we had to like come up with something. We had to create something. I just like, and he brings me back this like pile of lettuce. I'm like, are you a chef or not? Like, you can make something better than lettuce. Come on, man. Use your brain. Like, you have all these ingredients that I see in everyone else's dish next to the dead body parts.
Yeah. Just make that. Yeah.
Make something, like, you don't have to just put like, where is their creativity? Like, when you say like make something vegan, they're like, what are these? Are these hands? What is this, a knife?
Yeah, they totally forget anything that they know about anything.
Oh, wait, am I supposed to breathe to survive? It's like, it's the same thing, man. Just don't put a dead body part in it. Just make something, you know? So what I did, though, to protest, so I have my plate of lettuce. That was like, guys, they didn't even put like vinegar on it. It was just dried lettuce and some like shavings of carrots. And I was like, oh, thanks. You gave me food for my rabbit. But that was so kind of you. Didn't even ask. And I pull out a rabbit from under the table. You know, it's like, I'm sitting there, but they had like octopus, like seafood. Disgusting. Like the smell was so strong that I just wore my mask.
Pre-COVID.
I wore my mask. No, this was during COVID, but I wore my mask.
That's where you had the mask, I guess. Yeah.
I wore my mask the entire time. The entire time.
Dude, I love a nice protest. I like that.
And they're like, "What are you doing? Take off your mask." I'm like, "No, keeping my mask on. It smells really bad."
Yeah. So you know what's amazing? Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm like, literally, the smell is gonna make me. It's making me nauseous. Like, it smells like dead bodies, and I'm forced to smell it here at your party. So no, I'm gonna keep my mask on, and when the waiters come and take all your plates away, I'll eat my food when it's done. You know? But I was forced to sit at the table because it's like seating arrangements. Like, it was at a restaurant that had like we all had to sit and it was during COVID time, so like they did it all like 2 meters apart. Yeah, all the tables, but like family pods had to sit together. Yeah, that was the conditions of like eating at this place. You had to only sit with your immediate family that lived with you, and all the tables were like more than 2 meters apart. You know, back when like you were allowed to eat inside restaurants still.
The good old days.
Yeah, so anyway, I don't know. You just sometimes you have no choice but to tough it out. Yeah. But like, don't just tough it out and keep silent to yourself. Still, but also don't be an asshole about it. Like I was.
Find a good way. The whole thing is, so that's like, you have a technique. So you'll go 2 hours late. You'll have thing now.
But again, honestly, those are like cowardly techniques, because I'm not like sticking up for. Yeah. You know, I'm just like trying to weasel around.
Yeah. You know? I was gonna say there's
nothing against weasels. I love weasels.
I was gonna say there must be so many people out there who live with their families.
Yeah, that still live with their families.
And you know what? I wanted to say, like, shout out to those vegans. Yeah. Like I said, I'm lucky. I don't right now I'm currently actually living back at home, but for most of my vegan life I was living on my own. And to live at home with family who aren't vegans, and to be around that type of stuff, you open the fridge and you see dead animals, you open the cupboard or you see on people's plates. That must be really, really hard for people to experience that. And just shout out to those vegans who are listening right now. Yeah, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing, and you guys are like really enduring a lot, because as vegans we're passionate.
Exactly.
We changed our whole lives because of what we've learned and what we've seen. But then you have to still be surrounded by your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, and they don't care.
Yeah,
they totally don't care.
It's the weirdest thing, because like,
or you'll get trolled even. The uncle who troll you at the Christmas is like, it's a vegan, he's gonna go eat some grass, you know? Like,
not only that, but also like
you have to handle the trolling.
And it's also another weird thing that families do is like they'll talk. We'll have conversations, and I'll tell them literally everything that I know. You know, I'll tell them, we went to a protest, and they ask me about it, and I tell them, so we protested this, and there was a bunch of pigs being killed right in front of us, and we're telling them that, and they're like, oh, so horrible, and then they start biting their fucking dead pigs, in front of me, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, but they're actually like telling me like, oh, that's so awful. I can't believe it. Wow. Crazy. Oh my God. Like, but they're serious. They're not like trolling me.
They're not trolling. They're being serious, but they're still not connected.
They're still not putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like, what are you doing? You're eating it right now. Like, like, what's wrong with you? Like,
or like,
not like, or even you'll do a post on Facebook. They'll like the post. They'll comment on it. So awful, so awful.
Yeah.
Funny. But they're not changing their ways.
Funny enough,
it blows my mind, man.
I do a lot of outreach on the streets. So when I just meet people like my neighbors or anyone, if I spark a conversation, I usually spark conversations because I'm walking my dog Major and he's really cute. But I always talk to strangers or people that I know or whatever. And I always do outreach. It's like, I'm that vegan. Like within a minute of me talking about, nice day today, I'm already telling them how long I've been vegan, why I'm vegan, of all the reasons possible under the earth. Hopefully any one of those reasons will resonate with them. But what I was going to say is that sometimes I'll like do my whole outreach for like 30 minutes and you're thinking like, okay, like I poured my heart out, like I'm ready to go collapse because I'm so tired from expending all this energy to let out all my thoughts. And they're like, yeah, it's amazing. I can never do it though. I'm like, what? What do you mean you can never do it? I just told you what's happening in the dairy industry, in the egg industry, in the meat industry. Like I'm telling you guys all this. You kind of made it seem like you were resonating. And then you just ended with like, I could never do it though.
The whole time they're only thinking, when's this crazy person gonna shut the fuck up?
100%. Sometimes I look at people when I'm talking to them, I'm like, they hate me so much right now that I'm just gonna keep going on and I'm gonna keep just spitting rapid fire facts as to why people should stop exploiting animals and people and the planet.
But that's it. The deeper you go into your vegan journey, and then once you start doing activism and stuff, it's like impossible.
There's no turning back.
It's impossible to eat with other people that are eating.
Impossible to sit down with other people while they're eating animal products.
Yeah, exactly.
To be in their presence.
Yeah, it's just like without just getting up and just like whopping out a sign that you keep in your shirt. Shut them down! Shut them down! Yeah. Right to the person, you whop out your megaphone. Loser!
While they're at the dinner table?
To your mom at the dinner table.
That's a good idea for a comedy skit. Yeah. I like that. But it's funny enough, like the other day I decided to go watch football at a friend's house. I haven't watched football in like 2 years. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to take one Sunday to go back. I used to watch football for 10 years straight every Sunday religiously. I'm going to go to my buddy's house. He's not vegan at all. He's actually very close-minded about veganism. But I'm going to go there and I'm going to order us some vegan food, which we did. I ordered it. He loved it. He enjoyed it. And after he eats that, literally 20 minutes later, someone calls him. And he's like, oh, you're going to come by and watch the games too? He's like, all right, man, stop by Mickey D's and pick me up a double bacon cheeseburger. And I was just like, no. Like even hearing the words someone say that, I was like, I can't even be around people talking about eating animals because it just, it shakes me to my core, So we're too far gone now to be back into regular society. That's why we stay like vegan friends, vegan communities, like vegan businesses. Like it's all we know. It's all we can be around.
At this point, it's like I can't deal with it. Like I hear it, and sometimes there's these little moments that happen. We're filming something, we're on set. Not me and you, but me when I'm filming other things, and then the establishment orders pizzas for everyone. Don't worry, we ordered a vegan pizza for you. It's like, I'm worried. Should have just ordered vegan pizzas for everyone.
For everybody. Exactly. Because when
it's the same thing.
Vegan food is the most inclusive food. You understand? Vegan food everybody can have it. If you order non-vegan food, then that means vegans and other people can't have it.
I think there's a lot of people with like nut allergies and stuff, and they think that like, oh yeah, vegan food's all made with nuts. Yeah. But people that make vegan food, they also know They know the struggle about like not being included in your stuff, so they take into consideration a lot of people. Obviously, a lot of things are made with nuts, but a lot of the companies take into consideration that people are allergic to nuts, people have gluten intolerance.
Yes, so exactly.
A lot of the vegan food is nut-free and gluten-free also.
100%.
And so it's just like you said, it's the most inclusive food for everyone.
Yeah.
Unless you have like a really specific, I'm allergic to carrots or something. Like, if you have a really specific allergy, but. Yeah. Most of the time, it's like it's perfect for everyone. So it's like if you just don't know, just get vegan food. It'll be perfect.
Exactly.
So when you're ordering pizzas for everyone, don't just order one pizza for that guy that you know is vegan. What happens if there's other vegan people that you don't know about, or people that want whatever it is
to try something new? Yeah, just
don't torture animals and just get the vegan one. Like, the animals bottom line, man.
Come on. And what's funny is that we haven't even had the chance to in this episode to talk about how delicious vegan food is. Like in all reality. You're eating such amazing like sandwiches and burgers and nachos and fries and whatever dishes, traditional dishes.
And rice kombuchas.
Yeah. Like every culture has a special dish that you can veganize now because you can make your jackfruit kind of like meaty, or there's so many things that you can make seitan or like vegetable proteins, TVP. There's so many things that you can now make similar to meat textures if that's what your thing is. Why aren't people just making the change and being open-minded? And that's what we're here to help do, people. That's what we're here to help do.
We should go do, we're going to hit the streets, do a poll.
Okay, I like that.
Ask people. We'll ask people.
I like that. We're going to go out there with our cameras and our mics and ask people. What are we asking them exactly? What's the question that comes to mind off the top?
Why? What?
That's the only thing. We just sit there with our vegan as fuck like shirt on. I'm just like,
why? Now, honestly, yeah. The question that you asked before, like, how come when people honestly, what does it make you feel when people tell you about vegan stuff?
Yeah, what's your first thoughts?
What's going in your mind?
Yeah, I like that.
Like, why? Yeah, what's going in your mind? Why are you so offended all of a sudden?
Yeah, why are you offended? Why do
we
you
need
hate
to know
vegans?
because it's like they feel attacked. They feel like we're taking away their
life,
their freedom,
their happiness.
It's like relax, man. It's just food.
Exactly.
It's just something that you eat. It's a temporary moment.
But to be honest, who loves food more than anybody in this world? Like, who really has the deepest love for food in this world?
Well, yeah,
Vegans. So that's the whole thing. We love our food.
Our whole identity is based around what
even
we
though
eat,
there's so much more. There's products that are tested on animals that we don't use, the clothes that don't come from animals, or entertainment. There's so much more to veganism, and it's animal exploitation
exactly.
and human exploitation, and most of us are kind of like
that's what
environmentally conscious.
Veganism, it's not a diet.
It's no exploitation.
It's a lifestyle,
it's a mindset. But it's just.
But whatever for people that are on like a plant-based diet where they know that it's like literally exactly like every single like I said, our whole identity is like
food
mapped around what we're eating.
What we're eating.
We eat this, and that makes us this category of human.
Exactly, and it's like it makes sense though. I'll tell you why, because like we eat 3, 4, 5 times a day. That's the one thing that we do probably the most of. Like most frequently, like I gotta have breakfast, gotta have lunch, dinner,
and we
snacks.
need it to survive.
You need to survive, and it's just part of your life. And that's what we also use to communicate with people our thoughts and our beliefs is through our food, by making
and people have really strong relationships with food, like, and not only strong, but like weird relationships with food. It's like since the beginning of time, food is like, we need food. Oh, something good happened today. Exactly. Hey, let's celebrate our second podcast. Let's go get some food.
That's what we're gonna go do right after this. Yeah,
let's go. Celebrate this, celebrate that for celebrations, for stuff like that.
Exactly. So it's important people celebrate with.
Oh, my daughter was born today. Let's go eat some food.
Yeah, exactly. Every life is food, and that's why we're trying to say, don't take another life to make your life happy. Like. Live a lifestyle where another being's life did not have to be taken. Because if you understand freedom and happiness and enjoyment, it should not come at the price of another living being's life.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think on that note,
we stare at our rice kombuchas until the credits roll out. Thank you, everyone. I think we covered what we wanted to talk about today.
So, yeah.
But moral of the story. If you see people eating anything that's not vegan, you turn around and you run. You run as fast as you can.
Yeah, or knock it out of their hands.
You run to the closest store and you buy yourself a rice kombucha. Thank you for watching the Vegan as Fuck podcast. This podcast is a production of Third Eye Media and sponsored by Rise Kombucha. Vegan as Fuck podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube.
Peace.
We tried to post that on Instagram, but it doesn't let us. Just putting it out there. All right.
See you guys next time.